This is exciting. So first, let me tell you a little bit about me. I participated in the last Yoni Ki Baat in 2020. In case you don't know, Yoni Ki Baat is a hugely popular event organized by Tasveer. I have lived in Seattle for over 20 years, and I have attended open mics on and off since 2002. And poetry has been a lifelong passion of mine. And I am really happy that Tasveer has taken the initiative to start this South Asia focused open mic. So a couple of things for the audience and everyone. Open mics are places where artists are beginning to spread their wings. And you, the audience, are very important for the artist. There is no art without an audience. So we would love your appreciative comments and encouragement for our participants. Also for the artist, when you begin your performance, if you want, you can take a minute to tell us your name and your pronouns, and also a line about yourself. This is a warm and welcoming circle, and we want to know all about you. So sit back and enjoy, and let us begin. So let's hit the randomizer.
Would it be oops, if you start with your poetry first as an MC?
Sure. Okay. So the poetry that I selected for today, it's called My Hungry Ghost. Today I met my hungry ghost. Don't look askance at me, I'm not crazy. We all have it deep inside. It resides in the dark recesses of our mind. Don't believe me? There are others besides me who see it, speak about it, while the Buddhists for aeons have written paeans on the damage it wrought. I need, it says, stretching its arms out at me. For several millennia, over countless lifetimes, I have followed its bidding. I want, I said. Well, today, in a moment of deep reverie, she revealed herself to me, clad in unspeakably beautiful finery. She laughed gleefully. So we finally meet, she said. I'm your secret genie. I make things happen in your life. You do what I seek. You have served me well, given me much, but I'm still hungry. Go do some more. We have dreams. Now is not the time for reverie. And such was the sway she had on me, I woke up and set to work. Well, almost made my grand plans for that exciting new job, that new love to woo, the friends to own, the things to do, the meandering rivers to pursue, that travel adventure, that elusive world that awaits me, there, just behind that corner. I must grab it, reach for it, be its proud owner. But then the question arose in me, why, till when, how many lifetimes more will I do her bidding? She has such a hold on me. Is it really fitting to have her rule, to put me on this Ferris wheels? Run, my emotions churning, hope, desire, disappointment, a goal reached, another set aside. How can I not rue this entrapment? Can I get off? Will she let me be? What lies beyond? Then, when she is not the puppet master, and I not her puppet dancer. She pulls the strings and I do her bidding. Well, what happens when this crazy pantomime is no longer what I'm living? The thought is not new. It is familiar, this yearning to be free, to discard these chains that bind me. It could be a trick, though, could be deceptive. This new goal to pursue, this problem to solve, another beginning, where is the ending? Is this another ploy, another goal, another thing she's putting out for me, another question she is posing? Thank you.
Love it.
Maybe everyone can unmute and applaud or some emojis.
Very nice poem.
Great, actually. It was nice.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so let's do the randomizer then.
Yes. But before I do that, I want to make sure if everyone who wants to participate, their name is in the list. So let me share the list here. Oops. Do you all see the randomizer?
Yes.
Okay, so we have a first participant, Deepthi Vyas. Deepthi Vyas is from California. She's going to recite poetry for us. And the poem she's reciting is called The Other Me. So Deepthi Vyas.
Is Dipti here? I don't see her. So I wanted to make sure people who are here and if their name is,
Okay, let's take a look at the wheel again and make sure that
yeah.
everybody on the wheel is there. And hopefully the wheel will not give us somebody. So can you bring up the wheel again?
Yeah. Is anyone's name not in here?
I think maybe Deepthi we can take out.
Okay, for now.
Yeah.
Shall
She
I
joins.
spin again? Okay.
So
Spin again.
yeah. So is there, let's just make sure that everybody is here, right?
Okay. Oops. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness.
Asha. Is Asha there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So Asha is from Seattle and currently in India, and Asha is going to give us some stand-up comedy.
Probably it's more like facts, not comedy though. Hi everybody, my name is Asha Joseph. So I did a small gig last time when I was in Seattle for the Tasveer event. And I came to India thinking that I'm going to be doing a lot of open mics here. Like I'm in Hyderabad right now. And I don't know if it's for my good or for the audience sake. God has planned in such a way that there is a lockdown completely and there are no open mics. I don't know what to do. So I thought, okay, let me do some Zoom events. And then that's how I started. I applied for the this event. So thank you for this opportunity. And that's that. So my visit. So when I came down, at least when I was planning to visit India, I had a lot of plans. Like I want to visit that place because I was like, I had both my doses. So I was thinking I can travel anywhere with the mask on, of course. And I came down to India. All I was doing was shopping and taking care of my family. You might be thinking shopping for clothes and whatever groceries, but no, I was shopping for the medicines. Every week I go to the grocery store, like I go to the pharmacy like a grocery store just to buy medicines because everybody is getting sick. And yesterday I got my reports. I am corona positive, so I am a true COVIDian now, thanks to the pandemic. So yeah, every time I was taking care of people, I was getting haunted, like, maybe I'm going to fall sick and I'm going to die or something like that. But now I'm like, okay, I can manage with Dolo 650. Here in India, Dolo 650 is just like Tylenol. So we are managing corona with Tylenol here, and I'm buying boxes of them, boxes. So that's the situation here. So anyways, and when I was packing, I didn't pack any of my clothes thinking that I'm going to be doing a lot of shopping. By the way, it's getting really awkward to see myself just talking. Can I have everybody's video on? It really helps when the video is on because I can see your expressions. I'll know whether it's like, "Hmm?" or ha ha ha, hi. So yeah, it gives me a booster basically if I can see your faces. I know a lot of guys here. Rohini, yeah, there are two Rohinis here. Wow, that's great. Both has the same name. Jayanti, Jayanti. Interesting. This is a doppelganger. Woohoo!
That's SL actually. I think she logged in with the link I shared with her.
Oh, you both look alike. Oh, okay. So I thought, who is this doppelganger? Okay, cool then. Um, so yeah, I was okay. I lost what I was saying though. The COVID situation. I packed nothing, thinking I'm gonna do shopping, and as soon as I came here, like my loving husband sent me a gift from US. It was a Pro Max, so I was carrying my Pro Max and flaunting everywhere. And I went to a store. Okay, I love shopping, so I did go with my mask on. The shopkeeper saw me. Oh, Bhenji, aapka, he calls me Bhenji. I was like sad about it, but it's fine. It's होता है. But so ये iPhone Pro Max है क्या? हाँ भैया. अच्छा. Then he comes and he's like showing me clothes. And then yeah, better than auntie. That's true. So he was like, I told him like I want regular clothes. It's very hot here. Then he was like, बहन जी अभी तो ठंड की मौसम है ना. I hope everybody understands Hindi. Then I was like, नहीं भैया मुझे बहुत गर्मी हो रहा है. It's very hot, like typical NRI. Then he started showing me clothes. Then the first one, original chicken curry, madam. हर सीजन में पहन सकते हैं. Just 25,000 rupees because he saw my iPhone Pro Max. And he told me it's just 25,000 rupees. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
See, when we NRIs, when we go to India, see, when we go to US, we try to convert everything in an INR and then think, oh my God, it's very expensive. But when we are in India, we're thinking, see, it's better in the US. I can at least shop in Ross or Target or Walmart. This is like gully shops. They are saying it's 25,000 is like nothing for them. I mean, 4 years I was away from India. I don't know what happened in India. It's inflation. I couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I packed my bags. I can't live here anymore. I'm better off in US. I can survive there. Here, I'm unable to manage. That is like, then I'm like, नहीं भैया इतना ज़्यादा नहीं थोड़ा कम. अच्छा 15,000. नहीं और थोड़ा डेली वेयर भैया डेली वेयर. अच्छा आप बोलिए आप कौन से क्या दाम में लेना चाहते हो. 5,000 के कम. It's like सुजाता मैडम को वो सस्ती वाली कुर्ती बता दो. I felt offended. Now, see, when he first saw my iPhone Pro Max, he was like, okay, madam, NRI hogi ya koi badi hi-fi, But then after that, he showed me my like standards. And Zor and this Sasti Wali, I had to walk like 10 minutes from the place I was. And it was in a small corner, very like limited amount of clothes. And they are all like 5,000, like simple kurtas. Like I was feeling like it's better to go take my mom's sari and go to a tailor and get it stitched. And that is also very difficult these days. The tailors will charge about 3,000 or 4,000. Oh, I'm unable to manage. I can't even imagine how expensive it has been. I don't know how the middle class, and I'm coming to the middle class family.
So Asha, I think we're coming to the end of time.
Yes, I'm coming to that. So, like I have to basically give this information that once APJ Abdul Kalam ji had mentioned that if a country has to basically survive or basically look up to lead from developing to developed country, there are three things that we have to concentrate on: education, healthcare. These two important things. And mind you, pandemic has taught both are very expensive. LKG student, we are a Montessori. Lower Montessori, we are spending about 1 lakh rupees. And everything the middle class basically is earning is going off to that. So there's nothing, you're not earning anything. So I feel it is better off to survive as a middle class in the US than in India, because Indian middle class is way too have higher standards now. And I feel I am very poor coming from US. I feel I am very, very poor compared to the middle class standards. And that's that, guys. That's my time. the poor me, the poor NRI. Thank you.
Okay, so let's do the randomizer. Rita. Yeah, we hope you get
Also,
better soon.
everyone, let's thank Asha for a wonderful stand-up. What a gift.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hope you feel better soon.
Okay, can we just go with Dipti because she's here, and I will pull up
Okay.
the randomizer next time.
Okay, so Deepti is from California, and she's going to read her poem to us, and the poem is The Other Me.
Hey, sorry, my internet just flaked out, so I had to log in from the phone here. Give me just 1 second so I can put it somewhere. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I actually just wrote this poem very recently for my writing class. And I decided to actually name it just now as Holy Union. And the context of the poem is, when we cry, we are very kind and compassionate to ourselves. And in that moment of compassion, we see the part of us that we generally don't see, which is the loving awareness that we all are. And so this is a holy union of our mortal and immortal self over the tears. And that's a poem. It's called Holy Union. Life feels like it's swishing by. I feel like there is a me though, in here, out there, playing the role, filling the hole. And then there is this I that watches by, asking the hard question, asking the unasked. As tears fall from this I realize they are the holy waters that connect the two of us. The waters we are knee deep in, the waters we both swim in, the waters over which we have built the bridge. And then we walked over to meet the other, to just say hello, to say, I see thou. Flow, flow, dear waters, flow to unite us from this duality that feels as reality, even if for a moment I don't feel so separate. And then this I closed deep and I went to sleep. That's it.
Lovely.
Very beautiful poem.
Beautiful.
Really nice.
Woohoo! Okay.
Amazing poem.
So let's go to the randomizer. Asha is done.
Megha. So do we have Megha present with us?
Okay. Let's go to the next.
Anuradha Gupta. So Anuradha Gupta is from San Ramon, California. And she's going to read a poem for us, and the poem is Heading Home.
hi. So I changed my poem last minute. I went through like many of them with my kids. And finally, I settled for one about my cat, who's a rescue cat. He's 91 in human years. And this poem has been written by him for me. The name of the poem is Love is Precious. Mommy, you didn't know me as a kitty. You love me still. You knew me not when I chased butterflies and moonbeams. And now I groan as I turn in my dreams. You love me more. And my breath and fur sometimes smell as you groom me. And you say, stinky poo, I love you so. And you love me more. Mommy, you didn't know me when I was sunny. Now I am often scared, and sometimes I swat and you soothe me. If I'm cranky, you only love me more. Mommy, we heal together, you and I. Sometimes when I hurt, you cry. I hide no more, and wherever you go, I purr and follow along. Sometimes when I don't feel too strong, I rest my chin on your hand. I sleep next to you, I cuddle up, I feel unwell, but I know you've known me 8 months of my 18 years and loved me a million more. Sometimes I know you see my feet crooked as I limp, and you also see my joy as you enter the door and I race to you. It breaks your heart, but you love me more. You've learned from the wet and me that my days are numbered. Everyone's are. And yet we live and worry and fight like we will live forever. We don't love enough. And though loving me has hurt you so much, knowing you may have to let go, we hold each other up. We love each other forever. And though you've barely known me, mommy, who rescued who with a love so true, eternal and infinite, more than ever before, you love me more.
Oh, beautiful. I think I want to get a rescue cat now. Looks like everybody wants a cat. Okay. Okay, so that was beautiful. Lots of beautiful poems. So, Rita, can we go on to the randomizer?
Yes. Okay, we're going down the list very fast. Okay.
And we have SL Rao. And is SL Rao with us?
Yes.
I am here.
Hey, so SL Rao is from Bangalore, India, and we're going to have some comedy from her. And the comedy is It's a Doggy Dog World.
Hi, everyone. Hopefully everyone's able to hear me right now. Okay, great. Well, good to see everyone or see your names. I mean, this is like the best format to do comedy, right? Like you can't actually tell if anyone's smiling, but you can see everyone's names. So you know who's going to be getting some Amazon Prime fresh cow dung at your doorstep if you're not laughing. So don't worry about that. Of course, if you can come off on video, it's I can try to pretend to make eye contact with you. So yeah, I've been thinking a lot about trust. Trust is a very interesting concept. And you know who I can't trust at all? It's my friends. Because wait, let me take you back to like March of 2020, right? Like the world is falling apart. There's a pandemic. Everyone, it's chaotic. Everyone's running around, you know, everyone's scared, afraid. I leave my friends alone. January 2021, 50% of them have babies. They've somehow decided that the pandemic is the right time to create an improper clone of themselves and start flaunting it. So, you know, I know some of you are like, this is so hateful. Like, why are you so hateful towards babies? But like, just wait till I finish the set. But it's like, it's like they tried to go and buy a Louis Vuitton bag, but then just they ended up with like a Larry Vuitton bag, and they just can't tell, and they still think it's like really great. You know, that friend of yours who's just like, look, I got this for only $20, and you don't want to tell them that it's Larry Vuitton is not a designer. But you know, seriously, like in a global pandemic, when millions of people are dying, are suffering, and millions of more are still continue to suffer. Imagine these bougie ass, like 30-something-year-old white people creating new candidates for human sacrifice. Like, here, just take this one too. With part of me, take it. It's okay. It's totally fine. I mean, if people, you know, I don't know how many of you are thinking about having children during the pandemic, but if you feel like incarcerating yourself for the rest of your life, I have some alternatives. I strongly recommend a hamster, because a hamster, you can add whatever genetic value you want to the hamster. You can look at the hamster and you can be like, oh, Pinky's so cute. Pinky learned how to run from me. Pinky has the same genetics as my grandfather. Or, you know, you're just walking around and you see Pinky interacting with another hamster. And you're like, oh, Pinky is oppressing another hamster. Got the Brahmin side of my family, yeah? Good one. Sorry if I offended anyone, but okay, I'll just move on, just so that it's less awkward. If, you know, I actually don't know what a hamster is, but I think it's some kind of animal, so maybe I should stick to something that I actually know. Spiders make really good children, I guess. They're very, very creative. They create beautiful designs out of their butt juice. Like, what, so utilitarian, and can also prevent, like, you know, get rid of flies. Like, can babies do that? I don't think so, not the last time I checked. Don't get me talking about baby poop. That's disgusting. I have a lot of spiders in the house, but what I also have is a dog. Dogs are amazing. I know we had a cat poem, and I want to put a vote in for dogs, because dogs are so great. You can manipulate them into being completely reliant on you, and it doesn't take very long. They're sweet and they're great. You try that on a baby, 10 years from now, you're making some therapists very, very rich. Or you've created a stand-up comedian, or somehow you've ended up with a nudist, I don't know, like circus clown or something. All of this is from experience. Avoid doing that to babies. You know, with my dog, I have to do the bare minimum. I put a shirt on him, and everyone on the road is like, oh my God, he's so cute. Look at him. Look at that little cute little sweater. Imagine taking a baby out in a leash with no pants on. Yeah, that's not happening. You can't. Dogs are very consentful. They always look you in the eyes. They like don't look anywhere else. Like, you can't walk around naked in front of a baby. The baby's just going to be asking you, well, not babies, but, you know, toddlers. They're going to be like, why is that thing on your body? Why is that thing on your body? Like, dogs just look you straight in the eye. They're just real great creatures. Let's see. This is the first time I'm doing the set, so please bear with me as I look through my notebook. Okay, I actually think, to be honest, and I'm sure there are some parents here, I actually think, you know, if you think back to the time where you're just like, I wanted to have a baby, I actually think people don't want to have children. Like, even if they're lonely, even if they're just like, you know, I don't think people actually want to have children. What they really want is a dog that can look them in the eye consentfully and just say, mama. And they'll be like, yes. And just imagine the birth rate just go straight down. That's it. That's all we need. That's all. That's my set. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
That was just really
That
funny.
was
Thank you so
hilarious.
much. I love that comedy is flourishing in Bangalore. I'm from Bangalore. So great. So Rita, do we do the randomizer?
Yes. Again, if anyone's name doesn't show up here, please put it in the chat and we will add it and try to keep it under 1 hour. So let's take SL out. Good job. Yay.
And we have Rupi. Rupi from Toronto. Rupi is here, right?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Okay, so Rupi is from Toronto, and we're going to have some more stand-up comedy. And the name of the piece is Some Notes on Colonization. Refer fucking white man.
I was actually going to take that part out to not be explicit, but I mean, it's already in the title, so I'm very sorry to everyone. I know the offensive part here is men, let's be real. It's this is how you know sexuality is not a choice, because no one would choose to be attracted to men. I think of like the women in my life and I think, wow, they're so strong and beautiful and resourceful and smart. I have so much to admire. And I think of the men in my life and I think, really, really, God, this is what you gave me. I've liked Asha's speech about inflation in India because my name, right? It's also used as the currency in Zelda, the rupee, but also, you know, in the homeland. So it's fun to know that quantitatively, I can tell my therapist I am worth less and less over time, explicitly as per the economy. You need 1 million of me to do anything. I also have to look at my notes, so I apologize for that. I'm sorry if my energy seems off today because I want to explain. I cried over a white boy. I'm telling you this in shame to accept your scorn because, like, the ancestors, I already feel their scorn and I deserve it, but I also deserve it from all of you. I also, oh yeah, if you want to unmute, feel, okay. No, sorry, I don't have a headset, so I think that there will be echo, sorry. I also feel the ancestor scorn when I buy like a chai latte at Starbucks because it's not chai, like we all know, right? It's good. I enjoy the taste of it. It's like sweet and vanilla-y, but it's not like any chai my mom has ever made. It's not right. It's like the culturally appropriated equivalent and I'm enjoying it and then I feel guilty. It's a guilty pleasure. I also watch like yoga on YouTube with like Mackenzie Amanda Lynn Smith Rogers and she'll be like namaste. I'm like, oh, I'm mad and I don't even have any reason. I clicked this video. I could leave, but I'm still here, but I'm mad about it. So anyways, that's my life. I want to talk a little bit about my parents. I feel defensive when I talk about my parents to a white audience because it's with love. I say this with love, and I don't want to play into anyone's stereotypes about brown parents. But so I feel very welcome here. So my mom is hilarious. She should do stand-up comedy. The way that she speaks English is also really cute. And again, I say this out of love. She's a brilliant person. She speaks so many languages. Her English is perfectly fine. And then sometimes she comes up with her own little sayings like laptop. I told her, no, mom, it's laptop because it sits on top of your lap. She said, no, tap because you tap, tap, tap. And I love that. It's also the very deep Punjabi urge to rhyme everything. So apple, chapel, laptop makes sense. There's 2 more of her word choices that I love deeply. One has become an expression in my friend group, and that is have a fun. Like one fun, and then you're done, go home. Not have fun and unlimited. Nobody has time for that. You have a fun and then you go home. And I think it's a good thing to remember when you're at an event. Have you had a fun? Go home. It's not going to get better. She also, while she swears very proficiently in Punjabi and Hindi and Urdu, and I'm sure other languages as well that she hasn't shared with me, she's learning to swear in English, and it's hilarious to guide her. So she was talking about someone she hates, and she was like, "Oh, that guy, I'm going to fuck him." And I'm like, "No, I think, Mom, you mean you're going to fuck him up." She just looked at me super confused and was like, "Why does the direction matter? Up, down, I hate him. I'm going to fuck him." So that was a fun conversation to have, to explain to her the fine nuances there. So Punjabi is phonetic, which you might know. So like my name is RP and then joined with the vowels that make the sounds. So there's no like I or EE that like, there's no ambiguity the way there is in English. This is how I found out my family has a hick accent. I was in Punjabi class and at the Gurdwara on Sundays. So basically free childcare for my parents while I don't even know what they were doing. And we had a spelling test. And so like apple. So it would be PL, and then I would add the vowels to make the sounds. And I was adding the vowels the way my family speaks. And I failed that test so badly. And that's when I found out that my family is a bunch of like the equivalent of Texas Hicks with a thick accent. I know now because I can listen to like Punjabi news or radio and hear what like silky, clean Punjabi sounds like, and not my family's Ludhiana drawl. But it's funny because I didn't know that, right? Like, how could I know? They sounded normal to me. They sounded like our family friends. I didn't know we were unclassy. My last thing that I want to say is a fun part about knowing multiple languages is losing words for the one that you're speaking right now, right when you need them. Like I'm in a grocery store. What the fuck is Javan? How do I ask for it? I don't know. I can smell it. I know what it smells like, but I have a mask on and I'm just confused. What the hell is batao? All right, eggplant. Like sometimes I can look around and they have things labeled, but when I'm standing at the spice rack, I'm like, oh God, I don't know. The ancestors need to guide me. But as previously mentioned, they have scorned me for the chai at Starbucks, Mackenzie Lynn yoga, and allowing white men to have any control over my feelings. And that is all the time I have for tonight. Thank you for listening to me.
Whoa. So I think let's
Very
go
nice.
ahead and give her a
Amazing, Rupi. It's cool.
lovely.
Let's do that for everyone. Once they finish, let's unmute and applaud.
Yes, it's our first time around, so you know we're a little raw, but yes.
Yeah, next time I'll make sure to get my headset. I know that'll help with sound echo.
Well, there wasn't much echo that I heard, so. All right. And we have Rohini Jayanti, and Rohini Jayanti is coming to us from Mumbai, and we're going to have some stand-up comedy, and the topic is my first performance here.
Sorry, everyone, I didn't find a better name for my performance. So a few quick observations that I made was that it was such a divine coincidence that SL's name was also Rohini, and we look exactly the same tonight, like cap, sweater, glasses, everything. It's just like, who's Rohini and who's the doppelganger? Can't really say. Hearing Rupi talk about like getting yoga from a white person, it made me think about like my go-to yoga person is this German woman, and I don't have to tell you how many levels of problematic that is, but she makes it so goddamn accessible. You know, she explains everything, like where you're supposed to feel something, what's supposed to do. And to be honest, I don't get that kind of knowledge from our own people. Like I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, but I do not. And I have tried to go to a couple of like Indian yoga places in Redmond, and they are so cult-like. You ask them a question and they talk to you in such a voice as to make you think you're doing something wrong. Like you just fucked up yoga for your whole race and you should never do yoga again. And this German woman, she talks to me like, oh, here, baby bird, I'll teach you. It's okay. You can make mistakes. And now I know why everyone like goes to white people, you know, for yoga. That makes perfect sense. Like they're not condescending. I think the last thing I would say also when Rupi mentioned the thing about like when you're like you speak many languages and then you start to forget words. So that happens a lot when you migrate as a family or as a person very frequently. So then you start to intermesh words from different languages. And then your family gets it because they do it too. And then if an external person hears, they're like, what the hell is going on in this family? They all collectively lose their marbles. And I like to think that when you're bilingual and you move to the United States, it gets really fraught because now you not only have to speak in two languages, there's this like Indian English and there's the American English. And there are sayings that are very distinct between the two. And you have to create like a fucking Excel sheet and like keep track of what means what. And for the longest time, I could not believe what the hell pull up to the curb means. And I'm like, what am I pulling? The car is driving itself. I'm not pulling anything. What the fuck are you saying? So I had a mental map of what every single phrase or saying is. And I like to think that after a point, when they say you're bilingual, you can start saying bye to being lingual. And when you're trilingual, you can try being a lingual if you can do it at all, you know. um, so that's part one. That's just observations. I don't really have any cohesive set, but I have like ramblings. So this is my second rambling, and I'll stop at like 7 minutes. This is something I wrote today. Something that I'm now ready to admit is that I hate masks. I absolutely hate them. My life was so simple before. You go to the barista, you get coffee, and you come back home. Now, I have to prepare myself for the phenomenon that is uninterrupted eye contact. COVID made me realize how much I did not make eye contact before in my life. I used to always stare strategically at someone's like nose or shoulder or chin, not so much the eyes. Eye contact is very vulnerable, you know. They say eyes are the windows of the soul. And I don't know if I want to look at a soul today. I'm just not feeling like it. And so it turns out that 10 seconds of uninterrupted eye contact is all I need to fall in love with someone. And instead of getting coffee, I got an existential crisis because I'm falling in love with the barista, the librarian, my hairdresser, the guy who asked me for $1. I'm questioning my own sexuality. So yeah, I fucking hate masks. That's part 2 of the 7 minute. Let me find the third set. Okay, so a while back, me and a bunch of people, a bunch of my friends decided to go to Montana. And at this point, I'm really entrenched in the American society. I'm not this like fresh off the boat immigrant who's really rosy-eyed and you can't see anything wrong with the United States and all you see is just like the land of hopes. But I've seen the truth now. I'm like woke, if you can say that. I read too much Twitter, so I'm shit scared as it is. And I tell them, are you sure we should go there? You know, it's the mecca of white people, right? Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? We're gonna get killed. We're not safe. And they don't get it. They still don't get it. So I'm like, fine, you are clearly not concerned. I will do something about this. We need a shield. We need a light-skinned person. So I decided to rope along my partner because she's very light-skinned. I told her, you don't have a choice. You are coming because it's a question of my life. And so we get there and I have my scanners on and I'm like, where's the threat? Where's the threat? You know, where's it gonna come from? What am I supposed to do? So we're walking and I'm minding my own business and we're hiking. And I'm really scared, but my friend Rishi, he's standing in front of me and he's having a great time. Like all the older white people who are coming back, they're like high-fiving him and cheering him. And I'm really jealous. I'm like, I shouldn't be the one who's like so shit scared and he's having the best time of his life. Why is he getting this treatment? So I ask him, hey, Rishi, stop. Like, what are you doing that's making them love you? And he slowly turns around and he shows me his shirt, which says, y'all need Jesus. And apparently that resonated with them. Like that was the lowest common denominator check that you need to pass in order to jive with Montanians. Well, now I know. So next time I go to a red state, I'm just gonna go to Walmart, get a like $20 bill and get as many y'all need Jesus t-shirts as I can, and then take them on my trip. I think the next part of my set involves sex and sex adjacent content. So I don't know if I should continue. I'm also happy to like stop here.
Yeah, it would be good to make that announcement so that if anyone wants to drop out for a minute and then rejoin.
I'll just stop. It's fine. I'll end my part there.
Okay. So we.
All right, so let's just unmute and give her an applause.
Hilarious, amazing.
Hilarious, really, really good stand-up comedy here today.
Next time we'll say 18 and above, you can do your sex act too.
Yes. All right.
Okay, we have 2 left. What will that be?
So it's Ankita and Ankita is from Seattle. And we're going to get some poetry and mix from her. And then the title of the piece is The Choices We Make.
Hi, everyone. That's going to be a tough act to follow, especially after all the great laughs we got. I don't want to collectively bring down everyone's sort of fun night, but that's sort of what my poetry is about. Also, a little bit of trigger warning. It's based on experiences on my childhood and the choices I've made. So I hope it doesn't like impact you. It's not like very vivid, but I just wanted to give a warning. Thank you. All right, so this is about the choices we make and the ones that make us. As I ruminated over my morning cup of coffee, my mind knocked on the door of choices. As I've told myself more often than not, that's a dangerous door to be knocking upon, luring the past to come and prey on my thoughts again. But before I could rally around and move away, I found myself walking in. There were piles of boxes. Here was the stack of generational trauma that had me make not so great choices. Next to it were choices I had to make for simply existing as a woman in our society. Then there were the ones I made just because I could. Those were driven by a false sense of freedom I thought I had the luxury of. There were rows and columns of these boxes, and I knew I had to sit down because my head had started spinning. Suddenly, I was hit by one of my earliest core memories. A fine day at school, I was hunched over my textbook, making sense of something, when I felt a tug at my shirt collar and a boy from my class planted his mouth on my cheek. My skin was aflame, but more than that, I felt the shame and embarrassment coloring my face, even before the cackle laughter from the rest of my class reached my ears. I slammed my book and made a choice. I looked him in the eye and said, "You will pay for this." And I marched on to find my headmistress to report a violation. Once my story had been heard and the boy scolded and reprimanded, the headmistress turned to me. "Make sure your skirt length reaches your knees from tomorrow." I looked down and measured 2 fingers of difference from the expected length. "But what does that have to do with the incident?" And the reply was, "Perhaps that could have helped avoid the entire incident." That day, my choice and self-worth were hinged at the behest of 2 fingers width of fabric. Another box in my room of choicest memories had opened up. I gained weight during the last few years of my high school. It had triggered constant verbal abuse and picking upon by all the classmates around me. "Why are you so jiggly? Are you sure you're getting enough food?" I'd been a good kid till then. Shown in studies, good at debates, dabbled in spinning stories, but the hate, it made me shut up. I closed up like a clam, withdrew in my shell. I stopped speaking up, running around, smiling, and I stopped making any noise. I disappeared, like I did not want to exist. Before I could finish with this one, a giant container, almost at toppling height, nudged me at the back. Uh-oh, not this one, I thought. It was the day I was walking back from my gym. I was looking forward to meeting my best friend at the mall later that evening, when all of a sudden, a man, a middle-aged man on a scooter next to me, reached out his hand and grabbed my breast. He pulled on it and then rode off, slowly. I had a choice: scream or stay quiet. And I battered the tears. I thought it was best to stay quiet. The rest of the piles were all of choices I had made through my life, good and not so great. As a woman, and especially as a woman in our society, choices are hard to make based on what a singular person thinks they should be. They're amalgamated and reinforced by multiple people around us, including our parents and grandparents, our family and outsiders. I found myself making some hard choices in the past few years and being adamant, sometimes vocally and aggressively, to hold on to them. Why is that? Because every single time the boxes have told their story, I wished I'd chosen to scream. It didn't matter if the scream was heard by anyone, but it mattered that I heard it, that I heard myself acknowledging that it was not okay, to feel the self-validation that what happened was not my fault. A lot of choices have come with their own set of guilt. ridden with beliefs injected into me by my family. Sometimes the choices that I knew were right faded when held up against the stained glass of collective social values. It had been a journey of deciding to stick to these choices, the journey of self-hate, loathing, a lot of tears for the imaginary cage I thought I had already broken out of, and finally, acceptance. What no one likes to admit, though, is that none of these things in the process are necessarily in that order. And more often than not, it's a continuous process that may need to begin at any of those stages all over again. I'm definitely not an expert maker of choices. However, something that has provided me both relief and courage is that I've been open about saying it out loud. Because if I don't for myself, then no one else would. Saying it is also the first step towards trying to close that gap of should I? And this is it. Everyone I know has made their own journey of choices. They make us the human beings that we are at this instant. And although I'm still very terrified of being in a very specific mental room again, I know it was there in those piles of lived experience that I found myself, along with my ability to make choices. Thank you, and that's my time.
Oh, beautiful.
Very
So
beautiful.
beautiful.
Wow,
Beautiful.
intense.
And so, last but not the least, we're going to have Nipa Shah. And Nipa Shah is from San Diego, California, and she's going to read her poetry, Mera Khayal.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear clearly, or is it echoing a lot?
Echoing.
Very clear.
Okay. So yeah, I'm happy because I'm the last one, so I can do the mic drop, right? So my poems are on my experiences, and this one, the one I'm reciting today, is just a thought of the college love. Like when we are in love in college, we are so near to each other, and then everything vanishes, and then you become friends, and then what are the thoughts? So it's यूं ही जब कभी कभी बैठे बैठे तुम्हारा ख्याल आता है हम यूं ही जब कभी कभी बैठे बैठे तुम्हारा ख्याल आता है हमें सोचते हैं क्या कभी ख्यालों में भी सोचते होंगे तुम हमें दोस्त तो हैं हम आज भी दोस्त तो हैं हम आज भी पर अब वो पूछ नहीं पाते जो हर दम सालों पहले पूछा करते थे तुम्हें उन नजदीकियों से ज्यादा है इन फासलों की गहराइयां उन नजदीकियों से ज्यादा है इन फासलों की गहराइयां पता नहीं कब आ जाती है रिश्तों में इतनी दूरियां वक्त तो यूं ही गुजरता चला जाता है वक्त तो यूं ही गुजरता चला जाता है पर जाने क्यों दिल उसी वक्त पे थम जाता है जो गैर कभी बन गए थे अपने जो गैर कभी बन गए थे अपने वही अपने आज गैर नजर आते हैं हमें बैठे बैठे यूं ही जब कभी तुम्हारा ख्याल आता है हमें बैठे बैठे जब कभी तुम्हारा ख्याल आता है हमें Thank you. And I would like to say one more small one. अभी festival गया था संक्रांत का लोहरी का and in Gujarat संक्रांत is mostly celebrated by flying kites. So उस पर पतंग और डोरी के रिलेशन पे मैंने ये लिखा है मैं पतंग तू डोर मेरी मैं पतंग तू डोर मेरी तुझसे बंधी है जान मेरी चली जाऊं मैं जहां तू ले जाए चली जाऊं मैं जहां तू ले जाए कभी दूर कभी पास क्यों इतना तड़पाए नजदीक मेरे आने न दे तू और कोई डोरी नजदीक मेरे आने न दे तू और कोई डोरी हर वक्त मुझको तकती रहती निगाहें ये तेरी जाने कहाँ ले जाए ये प्रीत तेरी मेरी जाने कहाँ ले जाए ये प्रीत तेरी मेरी. Thank you.
Beautiful. So
Beautiful.
can we?
Very nice.
Very sweet.
Okay, so with that, we come to the end